Hello, so today I would like to show you the readonly keyword available since PHP 8.1. So the readonly keyword, let's create a class because we have to create a class first, and let's call it, readonly keyword. Now it's also a reserved keyword, so we can't do this one. This won't be possible because since PHP 8.1, readonly keyword is used to define a property as a read-only. So read-only became also a reserved keyword, meaning you cannot use it for like naming a variable. A variable should be okay, but not for a function, I believe. And for a class name, it's better to avoid it. But let's do a test read only, or maybe just a person. That will be a better example. And person, so I have a class, the name is person, and here in my class I have a public property. It's public, not private, because it will not private because it will be only read only. So public read only, and I have name. Name is the name of the property. And then I have a constructor. So with a read-only, you can only initialize the value of the property once. It can be only initialized once. If you try to initialize a second time, it won't work. So public, you can obviously initialize the property in any kind of methods, but it's better to do it in the constructor. So we do construct, and here I will do this name equals name, and here to be a name. I will use the type declaration here, so it will be a string for the name, and I initialize it here, and then I can do public function toString. That's a magic function in PHP, available since PHP 5. Obviously it will return a string, don't worry. And here it will be a name. Beautiful. PHP someone was just saying, hey, be careful, because toString has to return a string. So yes. So what we'll do for the example, it will be person equals person. That's the name of our class. Here I will just write Pierre Henry, which is my name, my first name, and I will do echo actually, because we have the magic PHP method here. Magic methods with PHP are always prefixed by double underscore. So I do echo person, and now we can test it. Oh yes. I will also add a type. So I didn't mention a type, so it will be a string. So it's public read-only string, name is a string, and the name of the property is name, obviously. So I will run it. I have already my built-in PHP server already set up in PHP Storm. You can do it by yourself if it wasn't done previously. Otherwise, you can just do PHP for the built-in server is flag S, and then you mention the port, the first local host, or 127.0.0.1, which is local IP, and then the port. For me, I will use the PHP server. So I will go back here and I will click here. And here I have to mention the name of the file. So you can see it's read-only-php-8. So read-only-php-8.php, which is the extension. Oh yes, I think I know. It's because I forgot new. So now it should be fine. You see Pierre Henry. Beautiful. You see this one works. However, it's public, so normally I should be able to do person equals new person. I have an instance of my person class, and now I do person name equals another name, which could be, I don't know, I will do Louis. Perfect. And this one won't be possible because now with PHP 8.1, since I have read-only, I cannot initialize it, I cannot change it. Even if I try to unset the name like this, PHP will say also, no, you try to modify it. It has been already initialized once. Now, because it's read-only, you cannot change it anymore, you see? So before PHP 8.1, we didn't have the read-only. So doing that, you could have changed the name and you could have done something like what we tried before. So changing the name, and then if I do echo this one, person and name, it would be the new name. So before we had to declare all the class properties as private or protected, and then we would have done like a setter and a getter. So it would be public function get name, and here return this name. So it returns a string. I use the tab decoration, the return tab decoration available since PHP 7.0. So get name, and now before we had to do this person and then get name, and here I do echo to display it. You see, that works. So before, that was the only way. Now I can just do read-only, so public read-only, and it can be initialized once, and after I cannot change it. But we don't need to have a getter, and before we also had to do a setter as well. So setter to set the value only for the class. So because the property was private, so if we wanted to change it, we would have a setter like new name, and again new name has to be a string, and it will return void, and then it would be this name equals new name. And also a setter could have a check, like to check if the length of the string is appropriate or not. Just to make it safe, we could have done like if it's more than 10, then it works. Otherwise, we would throw a throw new runtime exception, something like that. Name invalid. So that was what we would have done before with a setter and a getter. But now it's much easier. It's really good. Since PHP 8.0, you also have the famous constructor property promotion. So constructor property promotion, what does it do? Instead of initializing the properties inside of the body of the constructor, you just do private or public, here public, because the constructor property promotion also it also supports the read-only keyword. So you can do public read-only. However, read-only it's only available since PHP 8.1, and read-only and then string name, and here you would have done equals Pierre Henry, like this. Why it says something? Oh yeah, because I have this already there with property, with the constructor property promotion. You because we already declare the property inside of the constructor, you cannot have it there before. And then we would just do we just do say hello, and here it would be hi, and then the name of the name. I will use curly brackets here because I use this name. So with PHP, if it's a double quote, it will interpret the variable. However, because here it's a property, I need curly brackets so PHP knows, oh yes, this actually has arrow and then the name. It's the same when we use an array, we need curly brackets because it's not just a variable, it's more than that. So even if it's in the double quote, surrounded by double quote, we need curly brackets. Because with PHP, if you have a single quote, it doesn't interpret variables, but double quote it does. However, since here we call the property class, we need curly bracket, just for the information. And here we will add a return tab decoration, a string. And so now we can do say hello. So now we can have a look. Hi Pierre-Henry, beautiful. And inside, if I try to change the property to something else, PHP will give a you see an error. And if I try to use it as an array like this, again PHP will throw an error as well. If I try, and actually name is a string anyway, so it won't be possible. And if I try to onset like this, PHP again will give an error because it's read-only. So this is the read-only PHP 8.1 keyword. It's a new feature and it's really handy. Obviously, you don't always have to use it, but if you wish to use it, please do so. So, you know, we don't need a constructor, like I said. You can initialize it somewhere else, but the read-only has to be initialized only once. Once it's initialized, then you cannot change it anymore because it's read-only. So here we'll have like public function initialize. So it's not a constructor. And you will see I will be able also to initialize it once. This name equals name. You can also do like this, string name. And so here it will be person initialize Pierre. You can do this as well. You see, hi Pierre. However, if I try to initialize it a second time to Henry, you see PHP will give me an error saying it's read-only, can be only initialized once, not twice. That's it for today. I hope it helps. See you to another video.